need money. You need a set of numbers to prove that you are doing good and you are doing the right thing and the right way and you are profitable. So for a company to prove all this, financial statements is the only goal, and that financial statement has to be signed by a chartered accountant no matter what. Only then it attains its sanctity as a financial statement. But today what is lacking is people who are trying to do a practice on their own, people who want to independently sign the financial statements. So world needs more of that, and this is not just recognized in India. There are a lot of other places where Indian CA has been recognized. Portions which talks about a lot of audit, a lot of accounting, a lot of taxation. At that point of time when you're studying, you will be lost as to how will this be applicable in a real world. How do you ensure that this particular section of this particular act is going to be relevant for you in the real working scenario? Hi, I'm Anandhi. I'm a chartered accountant and I'm working with Daimler Financial Services now. A few days back, I was approached by a friend of mine who wanted me to record and send a few answers to a few questions he thought will be helpful to the people who are pursuing CA or people who, any CA aspirant for that matter. So I have 5 questions with me today and I'll be answering those 5 for you. So the first question is CA really tough? Believe me, it is. But when I say it is tough, I just don't mean the amount of physical efforts that you're going to put in or the mental struggle that you're going to have, but it is much more than that. Point number 1 here is the portions are merely voluminous. You will have to cover a vast majority of your portions before you go to exams. It is not like your 10th or 12th standard where you will have a blueprint that these are the ones from where questions will be asked, these are the important chapters, it will cover 80%, this will cover 60%. No, that might not work for all the chartered accountants. Again, there might be a few other chartered accountants who have gone by the blueprint, but personally to me, it did not work out that way per se. So the point here is the mere fact that the portions are huge and you would say the timings of classes will be difficult, and the pressure on you, the peer pressure on you, the sheer peer pressure will kind of take you down. But it is only tough from that perspective. If you look at the other aspects of what the course will offer to you going down the line, I think these are some little hurdles which I think you can cross by as and when it comes. So talking about the volume, yes, everybody who's doing CA or who has done CA will definitely vouch me on how voluminous the subject is, how vast and how many nitty-gritties are there in one simple topic. So that is something which is definitely there. Apart from that, I would say every single course in this world is tough in its own way. Engineering, civil engineering, particularly civil engineering, I would say. Everybody goes through a lot of toil at this particular 18 to 25 years of age to achieve something, to get graduated in something which they really want to work for the whole of their lifetime or whatever. I mean, how long ever they want to work for, of course. But everybody will have to go through any course for that matter, which is equally competitive for their own strengths and areas of importance. But this particular course, I would say, it is not less than any other course when it talks about, when you particularly ask about the toughness or the portions. But yeah, this is as good as any competitive exam in India, like CAT, or if you want to recognize it on a world basis, an international basis, it's going to be GMAT. So this is tough, yes, but it also opens you up to the whole world. It also opens you up to a lot of other dimensions, a lot of other ways to think. It molds you as a person. It molds your character. So I think, yes, it is tough, but this is worth doing. Next question before me is what my personal advice is to children who want to do CA. Okay, so I would say if anybody want to do CA, make it your decision. Do not do chartered accountancy or do not take this course just because someone else is asking you to do, or some of your equal friends are planning to do it. This is not the place where you're going to show your superiority over anybody else. If you want to do CA, put your mind, heart, and soul into it and make it your choice. Do not take it up just for the purpose of, I want to be, having said the respect that you get, do not try to take CA only because you want that respect, because you will have to work really hard towards completing CA. CA is one course where entrance is easier and exit is very, very, very difficult. Listen, I feel if you want to do CA, you will have to make a conscious choice and you have to own responsibility. Tomorrow, God forbid, something goes wrong, and if you're not able to clear your IPCC, at that point of time later on there is nobody you can point out, because human mentality is when you go wrong in something you will try to pass the blame to somebody else. So that happened to me when I was trying to do my IPCC. I felt so down, I felt so low, and I thought maybe this is not the right course for me. But why did I do this? Because my parents asked me to. So when I finished my IPCC examination, I went back and I told my dad, "See, you asked me to do this. I've done this. I don't think I will clear. So it is your responsibility." I did a mistake by telling all that to my parents, and I would say, don't do that. If you want to do a course, do it because you want it, not because somebody else is asking you or pressuring you to do that. And even if you do take up a course because somebody is just holding a knife on your neck and asking you to do it, fine, make it your passion then. Because without passion, you cannot finish this course. Without liking this course, without having an attachment towards what you're doing, it is going to be mentally strenuous for you to finish something as difficult as this. I wouldn't say difficult, sorry for reiterating difficult. As as important as this, yeah. So you will be putting a lot of efforts, yes, but make it your efforts. Don't do this because somebody else is asking you to do it. Make it your choice. Future of a CA, being a chartered accountant, I am having a good outlook and perspective on the industry as such, the economy as such, and I would say the future is really bright because you need a chartered accountant to clear out the financial statements of every company, and that is as basic as it gets. If you want to give out a financial statement, so how will a company communicate to investors? A company is formed only by its investors, right? How do the company communicate its healthy state to the investors? How do you ask for, okay, leave alone the healthy state, how do you ask for more money? If you need money, you need a set of numbers to prove that you are doing good and you are doing the right thing and the right way and you are profitable. So for a company to prove all this, financial statements is the only goal, and that financial statement has to be signed by a chartered accountant no matter what. Only then it attains its sanctity as a financial statement. So from that perspective, I would say yes, the future is really, really bright. And today we lack a lot of practicing chartered accountants on a smaller scale. Most of the people try to join a corporate. Exclude me. Yes, I joined a corporate, but still, most of the people try to join a corporate, or most of the people try to get into a big four, which is already having a brand and identity of its own. But today, what is lacking is people who are trying to do a practice on their own, people who want to independently sign the financial statements. So, world needs more of that. And this is not just recognized in India. There are a lot of other places where Indian CA has been recognized. You should go to Institute of Chartered Accountants site and see the list of memorandum of understandings which ICA has signed with a lot of other countries. So Indian CA is valid in Dubai, say for instance. You can also go abroad, and you can also get into a lot of other governmental offices in India itself. So it's totally up to your choice. But yes, the future of CA is very bright, and it is a central nerve of the financial system of India. This is an important, a very vital chord. A chartered accountant is very vital for the financial systems. Until date, I don't even think of any alternatives or replacements for a chartered accountant. It is going to be chartered accountants only. 70, 80 years the institute is functional in India, and still I would say it's going to continue like this for many number of years to come. The future is really, really bright for chartered accountants. because these people, they belong to a very weird fraternity, a very strong technical fraternity. So yes, you can go ahead and do your CA. You will never be unemployed, I can assure you that. You will never be unemployed. In my views, none of the chartered accountants are ever unemployed.